Oh, yeah. It's the
Nice.
post show.
Yes, sir.
DudesLikeUs. Double the flavor every single Tuesday for the podcast for DudesLikeUs.us.
Double the pleasure.
Double mellowed.
Pleasure?
Double mellowed. Like Jack Daniel's Gentleman Jack, it's double mellowed Tennessee whiskey.
So what does that mean to you, Sean? When they say double mellowed, what does that mean to you?
I'm just thinking it's like whatever you're doing that helps you chill
It's going to do it twice the amount.
is fortified. You know?
Fortified.
Shut up.
Like Kellogg cereal
Okay, I was there. I know what double mellowed means
at Kellogg's.
at Kellogg's.
So you know what the double mellowed is?
I know exactly what it is. I was there. I went to the distillery in Lynchburg.
I was there when
Yeah.
they made
But so what does it mean?
I got the VIP tour.
So you were there in June,
So you
10 years ago.
You own Jack
and-
Daniels.
All right, so mellowed is
Watered down.
No, after they go through the distillery process, right? And they drip it. This is before it's obviously
16 feet.
no. Well, it's huge. There's this
Drip.
gigantic.
Isn't that a...
Can I? Are you guys ready? for
I'm
this?
still stuck on the drip part.
Yeah,
I was thinking
okay.
of some sort of...
They have this
16-foot drip.
gigantic
disease.
vat.
Like a faucet.
They have this gigantic vat of
And his name is Hans.
charcoal
Hans and
charcoal
Franz.
wood, right? Charcoal wood in this gigantic
Right.
vat, and they drip the distilled no color, right? Drip the distilled bourbon or into that, and then at the bottom they collect it, and then the Jack Daniels, regular Jack Daniels, off it goes. Whoop.
So what in the...
The Gentleman Jack goes back and do that twice, double
All right.
mellowed.
So first round, Jack Daniels. Second round,
Gentleman
Jack.
Jack.
That's correct.
Jack.
I mean, it's crazy, and it is literally a drip. It drips into this thing, and at the bottom, it is dripping.
So I
out.
wonder how long it takes to saturate that wood so it makes it all the way down
All
to
the way
actually
down.
drips to the bottom. Because that wood would have to be saturated, I think.
And it had to be a big piece of wood because you imagine a spire that would have that much infusion.
Maybe,
Well,
it's,
I timed it.
maybe
It
it's
was, it was
sawdust.
41 minutes.
Sawdust.
maybe it's sawdust.
It's like a big tea bag in there.
It's just it's
So
like-
and they show the whole process where they stack up the wood
do they steep it?
steep. Is that what you call it when you build a?
That's when you make tea. You
Like-
steep tea.
No,
Do you steep
they make
bourbon?
this gigantic stack of wood, and I think it's something maple something.
It's
I
like
don't
a
know.
cord of wood.
And they burn it, and then they take those chips and then they fill the vat with it, and that's what they drip the
So it's-
Jack Daniels into it.
So it's like chip wood,
Chip wood.
like particle board. So they have a bunch of particle
It's,
board
well,
in there.
it is particle board. Yeah.
And glue.
That's why this is like a really cheap bourbon.
Yeah,
What is wrong
glue.
with you guys? You're
Yeah,
supposed to
Is that
respect the process.
Is it
and
the
you guys
wafer board they use?
Yes.
you
like
guys are
it's-
mocking the
We're
process.
just asking questions.
Yeah, whatever.
Actually, it's an
You're
interesting
jealous
thing.
that I was there and you weren't.
So I'm
was.
kind
I wanna
of
go.
hung up on the. So it's double mellowed. So the first mellow is Jack Daniels. The second mellow is the Gentleman's Jack. So that is sincerely the way they do it.
That's it.
Does Jack Daniels say single mellowed?
So they don't
I don't
put it
think
in
so.
a barrel.
They don't call that
This is
out.
before the barrel.
Oh.
It hasn't been aged.
Oh,
It's
okay.
been-
So there's
this
no
is-
char. So there's no char in the
Well, there's-
barrel.
Oh yeah, there is.
Okay, so they have
Well, there's
they have a char of a piece of wood that they drip on.
Well, there's MDF
Gigantic vat of it. Yes.
Okay, so but it drips on a charred piece of wood.
Yes.
Okay, so help me through this process. So
Charcoal
It-
mellowing. There
it
we go. They're
drips-
showing it.
it drips on the charred.
And
So
it,
it's
wor-
like,
and it
so
works.
they're like charcoal briquettes.
And it literally, yes, and it
Oh.
works its way all the way to the bottom.
Yeah,
So
and
it's
then
kinda
they
like
put it in
so
a
you could like grill
barrel.
on that. So you could like
That's-
if you lit it on fire,
There
you could
it
like
is.
grill a steak.
So
They're showing it.
which level of char is it? Like a number 2?
No, it's the alligator.
No, they do not have it. It's not the
That
alligator.
looks pretty.
No, the
that looks
barrels
pretty
themselves?
intense.
Yeah, what number
I don't
char is
know.
it?
I didn't
No,
ask them that because you know
Paul,
what?
we went through this last week.
I know that, but I wasn't
twice
educated.
because you weren't listening.
I wasn't educated.
The Kingsford
Yeah, I know.
briquettes.
I caught that too. I went back and listened, and I said the same thing again. But when I said it, it seemed to have more authority.
No, that's.
Did you guys catch that?
No.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No.
I'll say dicks. Anyway,
Charcoal mellowing.
I haven't even tasted it. Have you guys?
yes.
well, yeah, I
I'm
have.
halfway done.
Well,
Is this the first time you've ever tried it?
Gentleman Jack, yeah. It's
Oh,
good.
oh, not me. I've had. No,
You've had
not me.
I've had vats of it.
I mean, come
Yeah.
on, man. I mean,
Oh.
what? What?
Are you French?
Boy, this is exquisite.
Huh. So it's got to be.
Double mellowed.
It's got to be double mellowed. I don't get it. I don't get the double mellowed part.
What,
So
if
you
they
gotta
triple,
try-
what if they triple mellowed it?
It would be
It'd be Madam Jack.
Henry McKenna.
yeah.
Right.
No,
Right.
it'd be strontium and
It'd be Captain Morgan.
Strontium. It always
There's
makes a
strontium
visit.
again. You know what? I listened to the podcast where I heard strontium for the first time.
And you're
once-
like, what?
And every time you say
it's an
it,
alkaline metal.
every single time you say it, Sean is skeptical that it is a real thing.
I know.
Every time. Like we've gone through this 3 times, and all 3 times he's like, "What is that? That's not real."
And I think we looked it up last time.
We
he's
did.
Like, he's like, that's a real thing.
And I'm like, periodic table. Yeah, every time.
Oh,
This is
look
what we,
at
this
that.
is what we do.
There
There it is. And we
Look
do,
at all those.
this might be the
electrons.
same diagram we look at every time.
Yeah.
So
Physical
how many
property.
photons does it have?
It has
Photons or protons?
it has electrons.
Did I say photons?
Yeah, you did. You
Oh,
jackwagon.
Isn't
shit.
that like Star Trek?
Okay, protons.
no,
Star Trek.
it's got 38 protons and 50 neutrons.
Yes. That's true.
It says right there with the P and the N.
What's its
Well, I
melting
said
point?
photons.
Wow, that
I
melting
don't believe
point.
it has any photons.
I'm so stupid.
How hot is
What
it?
a freaking moron. Who says that?
How hot is 1,042 Kelvin?
It's really hot.
You think my stove will get that hot?
No.
Your egg does.
no.
1,042.
And why are we talking about
1,400 because that's its melting point.
Really? That's gonna be
so in
fucking
other words, you
hot.
can't melt it.
No, you can melt it.
Does your oven get that hot?
Can you melt it?
My fucking egg got up to like
1,400 degrees?
it was ridiculous. Look, seriously, it went around twice. Okay, it's 1,000 degree. Hold on, is it 1,000?
Oh,
It's about
God.
750 degrees, right?
It doesn't go around twice.
Well, it does when
It's
you
not
go
the
to
way
the
it works.
store and don't monitor it. I came back and it was around.
I can promise you the outside of your egg would melt before it melts
No,
strontium.
listen, hear me. This. Well, that may be true, but when Jeff was over at the house, you saw it.
Yeah,
So-
he got blasted in the face. He went flying
so-
across the room.
I did on
You
the back
opened
on
up
the
the egg?
patio.
He
So
didn't belch it.
I didn't belch it because I didn't think it was thermonuclear. So the thing is that
Oh,
the thermostat.
describe belching for us.
So hold on.
Sean
let
does
me
it like
back
10
up.
times per show.
The thermometer that
That's true.
sticks through the egg. It went around all the way past 0 again, then went back up to 200 degrees. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with this thermostat?
You're like,
It's only 200 degrees. That's bullshit. And so I rip open the grill, the
Oh.
egg top, and you're supposed to burp it, which means you barely open it up, just enough to kind of like opening
I
up a
thought
soda.
maybe there was like some sort of thing you pulled and bent it or something.
No, you
But
just
it's
crack
something
it.
similar. You
Oh,
just
okay.
So all this
you
hot
crack
air.
it. It's kind of like opening up a
I-
soda pop.
I was going to be impressed,
slow,
but
so
I'm
that-
not now.
No,
No,
you're not.
well, so anyways, I didn't burp it, and
Belch
I
it.
just I did whatever. I opened up the lid, and
And shriveled your chest
this
hair.
Voslick flame just kind of
Fossilic.
came out. Whoop. And next thing you know, I was on the other side of the patio. I don't even know how I got there.
I was inside. I just see because he's outside. I just see him jump,
hold on.
leap across
Hold
the
on.
patio.
What was in the egg? Because it's toast.
Nothing. It wasn't cooking yet because we were.
Oh, you were
preparing
warming it up.
We were warming it up,
Oh.
and Jeff and I went to the store to go buy
Well,
something.
thank God, because whatever you had in there would be done.
It would have been charcoal.
Yeah, it would have
Yeah.
been.
We could have mellowed
So-
some Gentleman Jack.
There you go.
My point
Some
is
chicken.
that egg.
And some black chicken.
Some black chicken.
That egg got pretty close. If it went all the way around,
I
if
bet
it
it was
goes
at
up to
1,000
750,
I don't think it works that
I
way.
bet it was almost about 900.
Now, it can't go.
degrees.
It can't go around in circles and then you just add the next number to the previous number max.
Well,
I don't
know,
think you
don't
can
know.
do that.
It was over 700 degrees.
I don't know, but that just seems
well,
unscientific to me.
okay, but maybe
This is
after
Dr. Sean.
after
I-
well, this is.
he knows about
I have the
evaporating
same
arm hair.
I have the same credentials as the Mr. Science guy.
Is that Dr.
Oh
Fauci?
shit, Dr. Nye.
Yeah, Doctor.
What a fucking fraud!
He doesn't have any
That is the
training, does
third
he?
F bomb I've dropped tonight. What's up with me?
You're just a fucking asshole.
There we go.
Like
I
an
feel better.
asshole Fargan.
I feel better. You don't curse all that much, Jeff. I notice.
Well, I try not to.
Yeah, you
They
really
slip
don't. I'm
out.
impressed.
They slip out, but I try not to.
I'm trying not to too.
Just
It's a
smell
good thing.
kids around.
I don't try.
Yeah, I know. You look for
I
reasons
don't
to
care.
curse. Yeah, I know.
So anyway, speak about the
strontium.
I
the
can melt that.
Right.
Bullshit.
Challenge accepted.
Absolutely.
Where do we get tungsten?
It's
Is that readily available? And what do they use it for?
Tungsten?
Look at
It's-
that boiling
It's
point.
in everything.
What's 5,825? Well, okay.
Oh, whoa.
10,000.
Whoa.
Yeah, your egg
No,
is
we're not going to get up to
Wait, hold on.
10,000
How many times?
degrees.
Hold on. How many times does your thermostat have to go around to reach 10,000?
Yeah, no shit.
You're standing there going, okay, is that 3 or 4? Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, my
Now,
God.
the tungsten's still
that's
solid.
fucking funny.
Where'd you get that anyway?
I don't even know. Where do you get tungsten from?
Leslie's Pool Supply. Yeah, where
Yes.
do you buy tungsten?
Why would you need to buy it?
Tungsten.com.
Yes.
So, tungsten, rare earth metal, naturally found on Earth. Duh.
Oh,
Wow,
we talked about that last week.
Almost exclusively combined with other elements in the you're right. So this is not necessarily exclusive to China, but
But they have a monopoly on it.
well, they're the only ones that are selling it.
Trump tried to open up American mining to it, and then Biden probably is going to shut it down.
Yeah.
So why is the periodic table
Yes.
W for tungsten?
They ran out of
Is
Yeah.
it because
T was already being used.
because it's
Wolfram.
also known as wolfram?
Oh, that's right.
Wolfram. It looks like
It's also a wolfram is also is it a website or something that yeah, there it is right there. An
computational
answer
knowledge engine.
Yeah. It's
Interesting.
it does I don't know if it does just mathematics or something.
Well, it's mathematician programs and
Yeah. It's also a techno DJ in Norway.
is it really?
I think so.
Ramstein.
Is he
I
on
thi-
your playlist?
Oh, 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 oh. You fucking retarded.
He had the head bob and everything
No, I
going.
didn't.
Yeah, you
I
did.
didn't head bob.
You're so
was-
flushed now. Your face is
No.
red again.
God.
He's taking his clothes off.
What?
Now it's a
That was
party.
Sean.
Producer looks over here like, no, he's not.
Are you going to talk about the Gentleman Jack mash bill, anyone, or are we just going to pass?
Do we have the mash bill?
It has 51% corn, at least.
Well,
Let's go to Dude Tickler.
Dude tickler.
all right. This is getting out of
I
hand.
like that. Yeah. I just dude tickled you guys.
I have spent all this time trying to write down everything I could talk about tonight. All right.
And what's the point?
Okay, Amy Cooney Barrett.
Yeah. No.
Oh, that's right. They were giving her props for like no notes,
Right.
writing nothing down.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool. That's right. I forgot about that.
So the for the double mellowed for exceptional smoothness,
Yes.
inspired by the original Gentleman Distiller and our founder, Gentleman Jack, undergoes a second charcoal mellowing, as Paul was talking about, to achieve exceptional smoothness.
Oh.
Its balanced flavor is perfect for celebrating life's extraordinary occasions, plus all the moments along the way.
And it's a balanced oak flavor with notes of caramel and vanilla.
Caramel.
Okay, is that the same thing as caramel or caramel? Some
Is
people
it
say.
caramel or caramel?
I say caramel.
No, it's caramel.
I say caramel.
When in doubt, just say caramel. Especially when
Lord.
you're at like dinner parties with really rich friends.
Well, I'm
Say,
I
oh
interested.
like caramel.
Oh
with
my God,
ice
this
cream.
caramel is amazing.
It's not bad. I mean,
It's good.
It's just
kind of generic.
It just seems so mellow.
yeah, it's almost too mellow. Smooth.
It's not very hot.
No, what's the proof on this?
I don't know.
6.
I don't know.
It's a liqueur.
I'm trying to see, but it's not enough light in here.
No, it's
There's
just called
plenty of
you
light.
need glasses.
Yeah. We talked about that in a previous podcast, too.
Oh,
You need
You
a-
can't see for shit.
I know it says 4 something, so it's probably 90.
Let me help you.
It's probably 80 proof.
Uh,
Um,
I'm struggling, too.
I'll see.
bunch of peas.
It's peas, really. You can't even say the word.
God.
Come on, Jeff. Say the word.
What
I
did
dare you.
bunch of poontangs.
Someone's-
It's
Oh,
80.
what's-
It's 80 proof.
Is it
Yes,
really?
That's what I said. It kind of tastes like it. That's why we're kind of like, meh.
Oh, shut
Well,
up.
I was
Get over
noticing-
the. Oh, you know what? We're graduating up to the higher proof
Well,
bourbons.
I was thinking that
Oh,
the
please.
Gentleman Jack. I was thinking was supposed to be better tasting. I'm sorry, that's not what I meant. What I meant, well, it was supposed to be a premium of Jack Daniels.
Like
It
a
is.
high
It is.
brow.
It's definitely smoother
it
than
was
Jack
cheaper.
Daniels.
It was
It's-
cheaper.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. It's a premium from Jack Daniels and at the local liquor vendors. But it was less expensive than Jack Daniels. How can something
No.
premium?
Not for a
Yes.
750.
Well,
I guarantee it.
It was what, $22?
You're getting a smaller bottle.
well, it's still 750 milliliters.
I know, but you get the 750 of Jack Daniels, and it's definitely cheaper than Gentleman Jack.
How much is this? $7.50.
Gentleman Jack,
This was $22.
That was 22.
right? And Jack Daniels, I think it's like $4.
Well, that's quite the difference. I
don't
challenge
know.
you on there.
I don't know, but I guarantee this is the premium brand of Jack Daniels.
No, I believe you. But
Paul
my,
so it's
my-
definitely more
Jesus.
expensive
the point is
per drop.
because it's dripped twice.
Living
It's
life
dripped
by
twice.
the drop.
Oh, good song.
Yeah, I like to see Riv on.
All right.
All right. So
Anyway, we don't know the mash bill. Anyway, it's good.
Yeah.
All right, moving on.
So one of the things I want to talk about, I read about today, is this lady. She is the youngest person to do this. She's 21 years old, and she rowed a boat across the Atlantic by herself.
Wow.
Her name, if you want to look it up, Mr. Producer, is Jasmine Harrison, and it was 3,000 miles. She left from the wait till you see this boat. I mean, it's not a canoe or anything like
Right.
that.
Probably like a long.
I mean, it's got some technology to it, but
like an engine.
yeah, no, that's not her.
Jasmine.
Okay. What?
But no, it was the news story.
I like
There
where this
she
is
is.
going.
And it was
That's a
3,000.
lot of people in that rowboat.
I was gonna say, there's like
Are they
18
coming
other
from
people that are
Cuba?
helping her.
It's a Cuban trip.
Right. So she did this. She left from the Canary Islands. Which question? Where exactly are the Canary Islands? Is that off the coast of England somewhere?
I thought it was off the coast of Africa.
I don't know. That's why I asked the question.
I think it is off the northern. We should look up the Canary Islands, but I think it's off the
Yeah, there she is.
western coast of northern Africa. And if I nail this, I need some props. I've already gotten the double mellowed thing tonight. I should get Canary Islands as well.
Click the map down there. There you go. It's in Denton, Texas.
Whoa! Look at me.
you, man! Aren't you Mr.
I
Geographic?
am Mr. Geographic.
You are Merlin Perkins.
I don't know who that is,
That's
but it
Marlon
sounds.
Perkins. That was the Wild America,
The
Ah.
Mutual of Omaha.
Omaha.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that before too.
Yeah, Marlins. Anyway,
Yeah,
so
very
she
nice.
did this. It was 3,000 miles from Canary Islands to Antigua, which is down in.
So
the,
did she do it
In the
nonstop,
Caribbean.
or she take a break?
It took her
No
7.
breaks.
It took her 70 days.
Oh yeah, she definitely slept.
No,
7-0.
never ate, never drank anything. Rode constantly.
She said that she did it. She would row for 2 hours and sleep for 2 hours. Row for 2 hours, sleep for 2 hours.
Oh,
And-
wow.
And she would eat. She said she ate mostly cookies and chocolate.
That's what we do.
That's what we did.
Just
And
one. Wow, that's crazy.
That's very impressive.
and in the article I read, she said she was 100 miles from finishing, which sounds very far, but it's actually, I guess, close when you're talking about 3,000 miles. She was sleeping, and her boat capsized.
Get out of here.
And it was a big wave, I guess, hit it, and she injured herself because she got thrown. And she goes, it's like getting thrown against the wall at 20 miles per hour, and so she hurt herself, and it took a couple hours for her to recover. And the authorities checked her out, and she was allowed to continue.
And so they helped her flip the boat over and all that kind of stuff.
I guess,
So
yeah.
she has a support team. It's
Yeah.
not like she's by herself in the middle of the
Well,
Atlantic.
shit,
Right.
going 2,900 miles.
Yeah,
Out,
exactly.
and she's shy 100.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they have a safety team
So,
and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's actually, I don't know if it's a competition or just like you run a marathon, you just run it, and some people are like, I just want to do it to finish. So it was something going on. I can't remember the
masochism.
yeah. And what I find it interesting is in 2018 she watched the race on TV, just like you and me. all of us would sit there and watch it. And she goes, "I
I'm
want to
doing
do
that. I'm doing that.
And she did it 2 years later.
Well, you know
No
what?
way.
If you're
Yeah.
inspired enough to do that, did she have any experience prior to that too?
I didn't say.
Oh,
didn't
well,
say.
I imagine you have to have core strength, but you have to have a developed core strength. So I imagine she had some rowing experience prior to that.
Of course.
Well,
He
you-
had to have. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe
Well, I'm
she
sure
just
this-
said, I want to learn.
Well, you saw the boat. It looked fairly high tech. It had solar. There was a special shape. I bet those rows. I bet they were perfectly in there, and
Right.
it was minimal effort to go as fast as you can. Probably was built that way. Not saying
Huh.
it was easy, but
And with gears
I'm
and stuff.
I'm sure they I don't know, but I'm sure the boat design helped. But it took 70 days.
And
What-
2
what do you
hours
need-
on and
What
2
do you need
hours
solar
off.
for? She needs power for, I
Charge
guess,
your phone.
For like
to listen to our podcast.
maybe
Yes.
maybe radar,
Dudeslikeus.us.
Yeah, .us
maybe radar
in the Atlantic.
communications and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I don't
Maybe
know.
she has a little heater on board, so in the middle of the night
Yeah,
she
little
stays warm.
TV,
Could be. She
little
could
Netflix.
Yeah, she could be watching Dark.
She's watching Queen's Gambit.
Ooh,
Could be.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one.
I haven't watched it yet.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Is it?
I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
Me too. So
Yeah.
that's what she did. That's what motivated her. She was
Yeah.
watching Queen's Gambit the whole time. She's kind of like Sean when he rents cars. He watches movies. That's what she was doing as she was rowing across the Atlantic.
Could be for 70 days. Boys, you could binge watch a lot of shit.
Oh, she could binge watch everything on
Yeah,
Netflix.
she could just watch. Yeah, I finished Netflix.
Done.
So yeah, what'd you watch? All of it.
All of it.
All of it. So it kind of got me thinking about other just crazy things people do as far as sports and challenges, how they challenge
There's
themselves.
people that swim across the
English
the
Channel.
English Channel all the time, and old farts that do that. Hell, it's the Polar Bear Club that like to jump
Right.
in the freezing cold water.
Would
No,
you
they
do-
got everything you can think of. I mean, they got people that try to go around the world in a balloon. They
Yep.
got,
How about that story where that guy was making his homemade balloon and then said to the authorities, "Hey, my balloon went up and my son was in the balloon."
oh, the hoax.
Remember the hoax?
Yeah, but what was the point of the
I
hoax?
don't remember that.
Publicity.
I do remember that. Why?
Publicity.
And so everybody was like
Scrambling.
looking
to,
for the zoo, looking for the balloon
yeah.
because his son was up on the balloon.
Like
Well,
thousands of feet up there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was
and balloon boy hoax. There it is.
Huh. When was that?
2009. It's 11 years ago.
I do remember that.
Homemade helium-filled gas balloon shaped to resemble a silver flying saucer was released into the atmosphere above Fort Collins, Colorado, by Richard and Mayumi Heen.
Did they figure out why he did
It's
it?
a
I don't-
husband and wife
I
team.
don't know.
I mean, it's publicity, but it's not the right kind.
Yeah, the event attracts
No,
worldwide
it isn't.
attention, and Falcon was nicknamed Balloon Boy in the media. So
Yeah,
I don't know. Whatever. I know they were 6 years old, man.
Yeah.
To reach 7,000 feet.
And to put your
can you
child
breathe
into
when he
that
gets that high?
danger, because if they did that on purpose, shame on them.
Well,
That's child
the kid was never
endangerment.
on the balloon.
Oh,
they-
that's right.
They
duh.
said they were on the balloon.
Was he like taking a shit
That's right.
somewhere?
He was like,
No, he's hiding under. He's pulling a Harry Potter underneath the staircase.
Taking a Duke?
why does he have to be taking a Duke? He just he
could
was
have
like hidden away. I mean, I don't know.
Taking a Duke.
All right, well,
God, can you?
Dropping the kids off at the
Yeah,
pool.
I never understood it. We probably should have read more about
Baby
that, what
Ruth
they
in
were
the
talking
pool?
about with the balloon, the incident.
It's a
The
good
family
movie.
said that they first suspected Falcon he was missing when immediately after the balloon had taken off, Falcon's brother told them that he hadn't seen the 6-year-old. He had seen the 6-year-old climb into the balloon's basket beforehand. A home video released the following day shows the launch of the balloon. Richard inspects the basket. Then his family count down in unison, 3, 2, 1, before releasing the cord.
Well, it says down at the bottom there,
huh.
they found him hiding in a cardboard box in the rafters.
What an odd place for a child to hide.
Unless your dad says, "Go get in that box
Yes.
in the rafters."
Yeah, we spun.
That's the way
big
it ended.
tail.
It ended with like charges.
Yeah.
Well, looks like they unleashed like helicopters and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, there was
There's a
lot
cost
of,
to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
If it's fraudulent, they charge you for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so what were some of the bigger ones that you can think of that amazing achievements that we're talking about?
Well, the spaceships that are taking off right now from the private sector, not just NASA, but what was
No,
it,
I'm
X-10?
thinking the personal
Yeah,
experiences.
one person doing something like Amelia Earhart.
Did you
Oh,
see the
yeah.
guy who jumped from space? Remember that guy?
No.
He was like 50,000, probably more than that, 100,000 feet up in the air. He was in space. He was in orbit essentially.
From what? A
They took
plane?
a balloon way up. He had a platform,
Oh, yeah, I heard about this.
and
Skydiving,
it wasn't 1960.
space diving.
It was more recent than that. But yeah, he was in a spacesuit. He was so high, and he jumped off and then parachuted down. Yeah,
Well,
that's it.
and then there were those guys that do the. I mean, maybe not from space, but they wear the gliders or something. You know
Well,
what
yeah,
I'm talking
like
about?
I've seen those guys.
Yeah.
Now
Yes.
those guys have those. They spread open wide their arms,
Vaginas?
Yeah, they're like
and their legs, and
what?
I don't think
Paul,
those
I
are
don't
part
know.
of the
What-
outfit.
what are
Did
you
you say
talking about?
vaginas?
Yeah, you get that Philadelphia
Yes.
steak sandwich just as you're falling out of the sky.
You know what? I seem to recall one of these exact conversations on a previous podcast, and I think you made the same noise.
No, I'm sure it was different. Anyway, so
Anyway, it's like
they have
Rocket
those
Man.
gliding. Yeah, but
They're
these suits
those
are
wingsuits, right?
yeah, they're pretty amazing. I mean, Red Bull has some of those. Those guys will. I don't know how far they go. But they take tremendous. When they
Risk.
like are flying and they're dropping, they're gliding, and they got these
gliding.
scenery.
They're gliding
where-
at an incredible speed.
and they see the aerial stuff that the stunts that those guys do, where they look like they're about to hit the ground, but then they get lower, 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 and then all of a sudden, boom, they're wide open to another canyon again,
Yeah.
and it's just
Or
it's
they'll go
amazing.
through they'll go through very thin canyons or crevasses.
Yeah,
and
like,
they die. By
like
the
jet
way,
fighters.
these guys do crash and die. I mean,
I'm sure it'd
it's
be
dangerous, dangerous shit.
I'm
Man.
sure it'd be instant. Just
So
smack in the side of the wall.
I mean, they're going. God knows how fast they're going.
Like that
I don't
guy
know.
right there, Jason Alderan.
Dead.
He the last the last thing that went through his mind. Guess what? The last thing that went through his mind was
Did I pay the?
His asshole.
his ass.
Oh, okay.
Austin knows it. He's like, is he really?
Yeah, you're setting that up.
That was a bug. That was from what was the last thing that goes through a bug's mind before it hits the windshield? His ass.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, these guys that are thrill seekers, that's the risk, right? That's the thrill. It's the excitement of I
Yeah.
could die. at
and
any
these,
time.
these guys climb up on bridges. They climb up on radio towers. They climb up on just about anything. And
It's no different than the free climbers.
Did you watch that movie?
Free climbers
Free
die
Solo?
all the time.
Did you watch that Free Solo?
is that with Sylvester Stallone?
Yes, that was
It
Cliffhanger.
was Rocky climbing the
No, that was Cliffhanger. That was a good movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Cliffhanger?
Uh-huh.
I'll have to rewatch it. I don't remember it.
I thought it was good.
I saw it. But no, this Free Solo is about this guy who I guess he's the best free climber out there.
Okay.
And this guy here, he climbed, was it El Capitan? Yeah, in Yosemite. And it had never been done before. It had never been free climbed before.
God.
And it took him months. And the movie's about him planning for it. And he'd wake up and he'd go look at it and he'd go back to bed. And he has this map of the whole side. And he's doing this, and you could see the route they draw it. And then he'll go up, I don't know, several hundred feet, and then he'll go down, kind of like at a diagonal, go back up, across. So there's certain things he needs to hit.
Yeah, because he's got to have footholds and handholds, right?
Yeah, I've seen him.
I don't
And
know.
He's got a
It's-
YouTube channel. I've
Yeah.
watched.
I would watch this because this video crew hung out with him for a year as he kind of prepared himself mentally and
And he did
physically.
it,
And he
obviously.
would, he
And he
would
did
go
it,
up to
yeah.
these. He would. Like Jeff said, he'd plan his mission. He would go out there, and sometimes in the morning while he's out there at the base,
Yeah.
he'll get the willies, and he'll call it off.
Oh, on the day he was supposed to do it or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes he'll call it off because it's he's got some sort of sixth sense that's saying no.
Today's not the day.
Yeah, today's not the day I'm going to die.
Yeah, and he lives
Yeah.
in a van
Yeah, he does.
Down by the river.
down by the river. He does. He lives in a van, and he'll just park his van wherever he's at, and
Well, he
do
not
his thing.
anymore. He bought a house.
Well, I'm
Oh,
sure.
after doing this.
Yeah.
Well, his wife gave him an ultimatum. They bought a house, and it's funny. They're cute because she was talking about how the house is furnished and it's got all their space, and but it's a really small house too, though.
Well, it's probably in California, right?
But
I don't know.
But it's
probably.
amazing. He talks about the different techniques he uses
Mm-hmm.
with his hands. You know, in between, he'll like you see him grabbing it, obviously, but he'll also say you got to use this technique where he'll stick both hands in there and just kind of move them to create,
Wedge
kind of
them.
pressure it in there to hold his weight, and then he'll just, I don't
Yeah,
know,
no, that's cool.
find it fascinating. And he has to be just incredibly strong,
Yeah,
incredibly strong fingers.
and
I mean,
no
look at
body
him.
fat.
He's got no body. Look at his picture down there without the shirt on. He's pure athlete.
Yeah,
that's an extremist.
that's crazy. That is an extremist right there.
Yeah. But I recommend it. It was a good movie. It came out a couple years ago. I think it won an Oscar. And it's just him doing this, talking about it. And
I've seen that movie. It's
Yeah.
on Disney, isn't it?
It could be. But they even interview the guys who filmed it, saying, we expected him to fall at any time, and how would we deal with that because we
How
just
do we-
captured it.
How do we
on
finish?
film.
Yeah, how do we finish? Well, first off, you don't finish the movie; it's over, right?
Right.
And then, but you're talking about how you deal with the emotion of it.
Yeah, he's like,
And his wife. It's the emotion of his wife too, having to cope with him going up there with the opportunity.
And that has
Right.
happened so
Right.
many times.
And I
So many climbers have fallen
and
to
I
their
think
death.
they talked during one of them that one of his best friends falls, and
Yeah.
dies.
Yeah,
Oh,
I don't know if he's climbing this one, but some other really difficult one, and he climbs, and I think he kind of goes away for a little bit, and but there's a section of the movie where he leaves and then he comes back because he wasn't mentally ready, and he comes back and he does it. So
that's kind of I mean, I guess girlfriend, wife, whatever, they know what they're getting into. But I mean, that would be worse than you know how they say wives of officers or spouses of officers. They hate it because they never know if they're going to come home. You know what I mean? Because they have a difficult,
that's
dangerous
tough.
job.
You don't know.
But and this is even
It's like
worse.
a police officers.
Yeah, this is even worse. I mean, this is
Yeah.
like,
So what is the? I got
click on the route. Click on the free solo route.
oh, they show
Yeah, there it is.
how he goes up. Oh, I see. Yeah, you're right. He goes up and then down and around, and
Yeah.
wow, pretty cool.
Yeah. So he mapped it out, obviously, when he had ropes on, right? So he mapped it out, and he would try different grips, and it took him a while to do it, to
With
figure
ropes.
it out.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
and then he's like, all right,
I
got
could
it mapped.
imagine just dangling like that off.
No, me neither.
It just
1,000 feet up in the air.
It's crazy.
I was at I remember somewhere where I lived. I was gonna say Possum Kingdom, but that's not it. This was in El Paso, and I remember I was up pretty high, and
That's the weed.
I was nowhere near there.
You were really
No,
high.
I didn't do any of that.
Really,
stuff.
really high.
I didn't do any of that stuff back then. So
Oh,
it was
Yeah, not like now.
no. Well, I mean, I don't do it. Period. Right now, but
Oh,
but
okay.
I didn't do it back then either. But my point is it was. But my point is, I climbed up a little section. It was probably maybe 50 feet off the ground, and I remember there was this one point where I was pulling myself up, and I started thinking, there is nothing here to save me from falling.
Right.
I said, I'm going to pull myself up because I can do it, but I mean, I could slip and fall at this point. It was kind of a real,
Sombering moment.
sobering. You say sombering?
I think I said sobering.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely
sombrero.
sobering. Yeah.
Sombrero is what he said.
No,
Yeah.
I said sombering. Is that a
Well,
word? Sombering?
Somber is.
So
don't know- I don't
what's
know about
sombering?
sombering. Is that like a ring?
Look up
that's very-
sombering.
Is that like a
Mr.
very
Mr. Producer.
somber?
I want to see if I use that correctly.
It's a ring that's very somber
Well,
sounding.
what is the tallest mountain
Sombering.
on the planet?
Mount Everest?
Mount Everest. So they've got those dudes that are traveling up to Mount Everest and hiking up there.
Yeah,
and
they
taking
die
that treacherous.
a lot,
Yeah.
and they just leave you there.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh,
it's-
there's like frozen bodies all over that. It's like littered with
Yeah.
frozen bodies
Carcasses.
it's crazy.
everywhere. I mean, honestly, I remember reading a story that so many climbers were wanting to do it, and they're making it. It's almost like it's taking the glory out of it
Right.
because these guides are taking them up there like there's a team going up while there's a team going down, and it never was supposed to be that way. It's a dangerous
Right.
deal, and
Oh, it is.
and they're making it like a commercial.
It's like going to Disney.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm going
well,
to pay an
it's-
expensive ticket, and I'm going to have this guy take me up there. But if something goes wrong, they all die.
So
Yeah.
somber is a dark or dull or color and gloomy. I don't
Yeah.
know if it was.
Yeah, somber ring. See if there's a somber ring. ING. I
I
want to be right on this deal.
Did you guys
It's
see?
important.
Did you
It's
guys see
an
the movie
adjective.
that came out
Maybe.
a few years ago about that? It may have been called Everest.
There's no past
About
tense.
one of the groups that went up there and ran into all kinds of trouble. Several of them died and whatnot. There was a movie a couple years ago. I think it was called Everest, and it was
Yeah.
good. It was about that. I
Good movie.
think that's like a
Not a documentary. It was
It was a movie. Yeah, no, it wasn't a documentary.
based on real life
Right.
experience or something.
And I think that's like a 2 or 3 month process because you have to go up to like what they call base camp, which is at like 14,000 feet.
Exactly.
And you get acclimated for about 30 days and you stay in
Yeah.
that camp. And then you go up another 10,000 feet or whatever it is and you stay there a while. And then you make the last trek up,
Right.
I think, to the peak. And I think it's just littered with a bunch of trash these days.
Yeah. No, that was another thing
and,
that,
like,
that I read about.
And just like bodies.
So I went, when I worked at the Four Seasons in Las Colinas, there was a gentleman that was a member there, and he went up to Mount Everest several times, and he would he'd have a backpack, and he would be in the gym on the Stairmaster with a backpack loaded with weight.
They were like 60, 80 pounds.
Yeah, whatever it was, he would. That's what he would do. He put his backpack on.
You knew this
and-
guy?
Well, I mean, I didn't hang out with him, but I knew him. I could call him by his name. I want to say his name is Mike something.
That's crazy.
You know, he wasn't very big. He's a petite guy.
It doesn't matter.
Probably better.
Incredible
better.
stamina.
I mean, kind of like the guy climbing the rock. He wasn't a big dude at all, right?
I think
I
it
thought he was
eight,
tall and
he was
lanky.
8 feet tall.
He's 8 feet tall.
It took like 3 arm strikes to get up to the
Oh,
top.
so it was super easy.
He just swung like an ape.
Oh,
No, he was lanky. He was. I think he was. No, he lived. I don't know. He looks like he's tall.
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
He looked. I don't know how tall he is, but
interesting.
recommend it, and I recommend the Everest movie as well. I mean, there's obviously drama built into it because it's Hollywood, but I find it fascinating on why you would want to do it. Well, because it's there.
Pushing
Right.
your
Whatever.
mind and body to the limits. You
Right.
know, they have divers that do that kind of stuff too. You know?
Well, it is. They dive deep,
Yes.
and there's these places. I think one's called the Blue Hole or something to that effect. It's
The
down
Bermuda Octagon.
Decahedron. Yes, the Bermuda.
We had fun with that on a previous podcast.
Yeah, you sure did.
But that's the other thing where they hold their
That's right. We were making fun of Sean.
yeah. It's
Yeah.
Well, there's
it's-
multiple triangles.
it's called free diving, I believe, and there's
They're
competitions.
sponge divers.
Well, is that Putin right there in the submarine?
Yeah.
What
It
the
is.
hell?
Oh my God. Oh, he's always trying to
He's like
make
Where's
him.
Waldo?
Is he shirtless?
He's always trying to make himself manly, totally manly. Like they have him topless or shirtless, I should say,
Is he nipping
shirtless on a horse and stuff. But the dude's like not big. Like he's
petite,
he's like a short little dude.
so he's got little man syndrome.
Yeah.
Could be.
Anyway, the divers you're talking about, the ones that are renowned, right? Renowned divers, they're
Like Jacques Cousteau.
off the
Well,
coast of Greece.
I was referring to the divers that have a snorkel.
Yes.
That when they go down to the depths, they actually inhale a certain amount of water, not into their lungs, but into their nasal passages, so to something about the decompression. So it's like if they go down a certain depth, if they can just flood their nose up, and it's like they bring water into
Their
their
sinuses.
yeah, they bring water into that area, and they're able to go down longer, and the pressure is different.
Right.
I don't know, but I know the competition. I saw
Interesting.
a program. It was real life, and they were interviewing some of these guys, and they go down. I can't remember the depth, but it's free diving, and it's a competition. It's a world competition, and when they come back up,
Snorkel diving.
no, they don't.
No, not
I don't
you.
think they
I'm
don't
No,
have
no, no.
snorkels.
Yeah, you're talking about free diving.
Yeah, they don't have snorkels, but they go down, and when they come up, in order to pass, they ask you 3 questions. You have to do 3 things.
Okay.
I can't exactly remember what they are, but basically, you have to, I think, give them the okay sign or the thumbs up or something like that. You have to say your name or something like that, and then one other thing. and you
Like
see
solve some logarithmic equation or
I think
something.
it was the Pythagorean theorem.
Differential equation.
Yes, and a couple of trigonometry.
Did you have to actually solve
Logarithm.
the equation, or was it just the?
They had a whiteboard there, waterproof, and you had to work it through.
And you had 60 seconds.
You had to show your work, yeah.
And go.
Show your work.
And you'd see these people come up, and they could do one. All of a sudden, they just black out.
They lose competition.
They're just like, and they fall back. And of course, there's a bunch of people there to catch them, but it doesn't count. You failed. You made it all the way down there. You made it all the way back up, but you didn't.
Did they ever say how far they go down?
Yeah, it's deep. It's like I don't want to say that incorrect.
30, 40 feet?
No, it's like 400 meters or something.
Oh, good
ridiculous.
Lord.
So you're saying
No, that's 1,200 feet.
Yeah, it's far.
Are you saying that
That's impossible.
They go all the way down there and come all the way back up, but they come up too fast?
They
And they get
Well, they
like,
have to be
what are
careful about how
they call
fast
them-
they come up.
They
Yes.
call it the bends, otherwise
Correct.
nitrogen
It's
builds up in the blood.
free diving. What's the world record on the free diving?
18 feet.
That's the deep end. It's 10 foot.
See, that's what I was talking about.
Who can get to the bottom of my
the
pool?
free diving is what I was referring to, where they
214 meters.
That's
Holy
where they
shit, 700 feet.
That's where they inhale some of the water
I don't
because
know.
they go down so far.
Yeah. So I would imagine it's in this blue. I don't know if that's it, but there's one that there's these spaces that just goes straight down, obviously, and I couldn't imagine the pressure because I know when I was growing up, going to the pool, just 10 feet would bug me.
Yes. Well,
You know?
anybody.
So it's a matter of training, and they have to come up, and they, like I said, they have to do I think 3 things, and over and over and over. This guy, he beat the record, and he came up, and he got 2 of the things,
And couldn't
and
answer
he
the
couldn't
third
do he couldn't do the Pythagorean theorem. He couldn't show his work,
one.
and they said, "Sorry, you didn't get it."
A squared plus B squared equals C squared. He would get to A squared, B squared, C.
Yeah. So
Did he have to actually solve the problem?
No, he's
no,
kidding.
no. There's 3 things, and you have to complete them to make sure that you're cognitively there,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
and you're not going to pass out. And several people passed out.
Mm-hmm.
And,
No, I'd imagine.
You know, go through like.
It's not a coincidence that it's off of Greece because that's where all the sponge divers are. For
yeah.
hundreds of years, sponge divers have done what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, they basically they drop you basically jump in the water holding a rock, a big boulder,
They have that rope for you to swim next to.
and you just drop it down there. That rock takes you all the way down to the bottom quick, and
No, that can't be healthy, though.
Well, I mean, there's people that have been doing it for generations.
There's conditioning. I know when I was going swimming every single day, I could hold my breath for over 3 minutes.
Yeah, Jeff actually
Wow.
got down to 12 feet.
But no, I mean,
Took
when I
2
was
years,
swimming
but-
every
You
day,
broke the pool record?
yeah, when I was swimming every day, and you're holding your breath, your lungs gain the capacity.
Yeah, for sure.
And I was able to do it for over 3 minutes, and
That's actually respectable.
yeah,
3 minutes.
and you know, I'd
That's
swim.
very respectful.
And
Yeah.
that was while swimming back and forth underwater. I could do a couple laps underwater.
Sure.
But again, there's no way I could do that now. But you have to condition yourself, and these guys do that. They
Yeah.
train to be able to do that. Because if you're at the bottom, 700 feet down, and you're out of
You
air,
run out of air. Yeah.
Yeah, if I were in that pool, I'd be hanging out by the
jacuzzi.
the exhaust ports where that blows air. I like to stick my bum up next to it and let it blow.
I like to hang out at the bar.
Let it flap your
Is there,
balls.
is there a bar?
A bar in those pools, yeah, resort pools. Kind of swim
Oh.
up to the bar.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my favorite thing of a pool.
I
I don't know about the jacuzzis blowing shit on my ass, whatever you were saying.
I didn't say jacuzzi. I just meant I was like to go in the pool.
Yeah, you're talking about some sort of hole in the pool wall, and you were doing something.
Blowing your junk.
I
all
don't know
over the
what you
place.
were doing.
my jug.
What?
Yeah,
What?
well, I was anal stretching from the.
God, what the hell?
He
Is
was-
that a community pool or your own pool?
No, it was a community.
Oh, see, that's just wrong.
He was
No, I was-
breaking the flack off of his taint.
No wonder they like
God.
over chlorinate the shit out of community pools. People like Sean are blowing their anus chunks all over the.
God damn, dude.
Exactly. That's my point.
Well, if you think about it, everyone's taints are in there getting washed off.
Exactly.
So we-
Actually, the worst thing is just kids in diapers.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I see the kids, the babies in there, and they'll be like the diapers, and it's
Ugh.
fully absorbed.
Ugh,
And
so
you know, it's like
gross.
there's
That is
nothing else that could be
disgusting.
absorbed in
And
that.
then like 4 feet away, there's this guy like squirting water out of his mouth.
yeah.
Oh God, there's always one of those guys.
I think that was Paul.
It was. I love that.
But yeah, then you swim with goggles on those pools. Highly unadvised.
Yeah, because you actually see what's going on. You see the floating band-aids,
Floaties
and
everywhere.
the
Just like-
clusters of fro, hair, and
Pubes everywhere.
mucus.
There it
Is
is. Go ahead and
creamy-
say it.
These creamy
Say it.
chunks of stuff floating. That's just
Yeah.
gelatinous. Looks like some sort
Yeah.
of
And use Band-Aids.
it's like a
We should do a contest. Whoever sends in the timestamp of whenever they hear the word creamy pube of every single podcast, it puts you in a like a drawing for like a special Dudes Like Us hat.
a free koozie. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, the
That's very
public pool.
painful.
Yes. Anyway, and one reason I kind of stopped going was I had a lot of fun with my kids, but after a while, I couldn't enjoy myself because I'd get in the pool and it would be like I was a magnet where they would just climb on me.
Yeah, that's
The
pain in
chicks
butt.
or the kids?
The kids. Yeah.
Oh.
And I could play with them for a while, but after 3 years of this, you're just like,
Yeah, it gets
go
old.
swim by yourself.
So all I've got
Throw
to
me,
say
Dad.
about
Throw
that,
me, Dad. Throw me, Dad.
Yeah.
I mean, which was fun, but
And I did it for a long, long, long time.
me too. Me too.
I
And
don't wanna
it
hear
got
it.
to the point where I was like, go talk to your mom.
Let's go to the pool. Nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Doesn't that
Yeah.
suck?
Now thinking back, now you're like, yeah, I wish I could do
Look
it
at
again.
that pool
I
collection right
actually that thought
There's
still
a
doesn't
picture.
cross my
Imagine
mind.
all the people peeing in that pool.
Oh,
God, negative.
so gross.
It is, but it's true.
It is true.
I think. What was that movie? Was it Grown Ups where they put the special dye so if you pee, the water turns blue?
That's not a real thing.
I
though.
know, but I think that'd be funny
It
to
would.
Turns red.
if that was the case.
Yeah, I mean, kids are constantly peeing
Well,
in the
imagine
pool.
because you could just tell people to say, this pool's been treated, so if you pee, it turns red, and you just go around with a little red dye blotter.
That'd be something
Like
you would
food,
do for
food
sure.
coloring
Yeah, I would.
You would totally do that,
and the Baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
No, that's
It's
funny
got
though.
peanuts.
But that was in a movie, wasn't it?
It's Caddyshack.
That's Caddyshack.
Yeah.
All right, switching a little bit of gears here. I know last week we covered the monumental Mars rover landing.
Monumental.
Oh, it was huge. It was absolutely enormous what they pulled off, right? And we talked about the 7 minutes of terror and how technologically difficult it was. Well, they released either today or yesterday the onboard camera footage of the actual landing.
Look at
Yeah.
that. Ted Cruz was on Mars. Did you see that?
I thought Bernie Sanders was on Mars.
It was Ted
Man,
Cruz
they-
right there on the left.
They are.
Oh,
That's kind of funny.
yeah, they have him pulling oh my God, they have him pulling
a suitcase.
a
suitcase.
suitcase because of the Cancun thing.
It is so crazy, ridiculous.
Oh,
I don't see what the big deal is.
me
I mean,
neither.
I'm trying to think on both sides of it. What could he do? I mean,
Nothing.
just
He
I
had
don't-
nothing. He had nothing to do with.
We were caught in all the mess, and none of us care that he went.
Yeah.
But all the New York liberals in the press are bent.
What a great point. What a great point.
Yeah.
We're the ones freaking in it, right? Oh, well, not me, but you guys were losing. Well, you didn't lose power.
didn't lose
You
power.
were losing power, and
yeah.
pipes were breaking, and all sorts of crazy shit.
Oh, you had power. You have your solar, right?
I had power. Well, no, not because of the solar. I had power the whole time. You did too.
Yeah.
And you don't have solar panels.
No, I just have
I
privilege.
actually wondered. I'm not sure if the solar panels work
They don't.
without the grid.
They don't.
I mean, because the inverters. I mean, I think when you fire up the unit powers the inverters. But when it's like totally down and it needs to start up, it's got to use the grid to start the inverters. I don't think I have the ability to start the solar panels without the grid.
you'd have to rewire it.
So if the grid went down and you had solar, you'd be dead too.
I don't know. I don't know. I was trying
Yes.
to. I think so too.
They
Yeah.
should make it to
You gotta
where
rewire it.
if you
You're
have
right.
if you have solar power, I can be up. It may only last an hour or 2 hours. I
No,
don't
I mean
know.
it would last the whole time. But I mean,
well, as
it
long
would
as the sun was
it would
out.
start to generate electricity from, and then that should bring up the inverters, right? And then it should start to generate power. Like it should be able to self-start.
You should get your money back.
I should. I'm gonna send an email to somebody. Anyway, the answer is I don't know. I don't know if it will do that without the
Yeah.
grid or not.
But Ted Cruz, it doesn't bother me. He went.
Me
No.
neither.
If I had a trip going to Cancun, I'd have been out of here.
Fuck
Well,
yeah!
like,
It was
screw this.
it was warm.
Yeah.
It was miserable back in Texas.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
and
if-
they're saying it's tone deaf, and it's
Who
an
is saying that? The elite
And
peas.
Yeah, shut
I don't
the
even
heck.
listen to it
Shut
anymore.
the hell up. Yeah,
I'm just so over it.
me too. I was disappointed that he apologized.
Me too.
I was like, dude, you should have just come out and said, you know what? I took my family on vacation. Anybody in Texas could have done the
Well,
same
he
thing.
did. He flat out said, "I took my daughters wanted to go somewhere. I took them. I wasn't planning on staying, but I took them."
Right.
And that's what the deal is.
Done.
And what's the problem with that? They're your fucking daughters. Why
Yeah.
can't you take them?
You can do whatever you want.
Right.
You can afford it. You can take anybody anywhere you want.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. So anyway, the Mars rover.
Yeah, it's
What's
incredible.
the name? What's the name of this rover? Is it got a special name like
Perseverance.
like Doug?
No.
Oh, Perseverance. I
Perseverance.
like my name better.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I don't do the Microsoft Bing thing. I just go straight to YouTube. But I mean, it's NASA Mars rover landing. I mean, it's incredible.
I saw the first sounds and it was just wind.
Hold on. I just saw the first sounds and there was just wind. Is that what you just said?
Oh, I watched the video. Yes.
Yeah, I don't. This is probably not it. Anyway, so
yeah, there
there's
was a long video, like 2 hours long. I kind of skimmed through it. They showed a bunch of pictures like this, which is very interesting.
it's incredible.
It's fascinating. So
All
I
right,
can't
so
wait
there's
for
a parachute opening. Well, yeah, that's the first video is the parachute opening.
Well, it's interesting design on the parachute.
It's round.
No, the color scheme.
Well,
Anyway,
it's the JPL colors.
I totally recommend you guys going back and watching it's very short. The NASA footage. I mean, again,
So is that actual footage of it coming down, or is that just a satellite view?
So
No,
do they have
it's-
like a camera crew, like flying next to it?
well, it's the guys with the
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 Trump
wingsuits?
flags?
with the wingsuits. They have little cams on their helmets.
It's a bunch of boats with Trump people in it.
Yeah.
You know, I
Their
didn't
own spacecraft.
I didn't understand what he was saying at first, but then after Ron had mentioned that, I do remember that.
Yeah.
And you brought in the Trump flags, and then I was like, oh, I definitely remember that now.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that is unbelievable. Those guys were
was
out there in the middle of the Gulf.
Yeah.
Has this thing
That was for the inaugural
SpaceX?
SpaceX
So is this thing-
manned.
Has this thing? I know it's only been up there for a few days. Has it discovered anything of import yet?
Oh, of course not. I mean,
Just dirt.
yeah,
No.
it's just
And even if it did, we wouldn't hear about
it's
it. But
barren landscape.
let's-
Oh, stop it! You and your conspiracy
let's
theories.
hear some of the sounds that you have queued up there.
I mean, what's he gonna? What do they think they're gonna find? Like forests and stuff?
No, they're looking for evidence of past life.
The video montage was
And what are they
presented
gonna
to
do if
reporters.
that's found?
First off, that's never happened, right? They have no proof. I mean,
Oh, I know.
Scientists know that there is life out there, right? They just know it.
They
It's-
just want to prove
it's
it.
statistically impossible that there isn't life out there, right? Whether current or former. But yeah, they just want to prove it. They want to see fossils, right? They want to see fossils of
We're
former
looking
life.
for that footprint.
Like Sasquatch,
Yeah, like a Bigfoot print.
the abominable
So you hear that low
snowman.
frequency in there?
No.
No, not that.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I just hear a buzz. So
yeah, there's
Anyway.
a low frequency that came in every 2 seconds, and then they had that high buzz too.
in our setup here.
Yeah, but he's playing right there,
we get to 60 hertz. Oh,
right there.
you
I
can
don't
hear
know.
it.
I don't
That's
know
wind.
what we're.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
just
it's
wind.
Martian wind.
Yeah, Martian wind.
So
What if it
and there's
smells?
one other thing. You can get on your phone, and they can show you the first 360 image of that rover has taken, and you can take your phone, and it's like VR. You can
Is it
spin
just-
it. You
is
can
it-
spin it around.
Is it red and
It's
dirt?
red. It's red, but it's amazing. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I don't think you're appreciating how hard it is to put a rover
No, I
on, the
appreciate.
planet of Mars.
I appreciate the difficultness, but what I don't appreciate is it's the same damn pictures we've seen for years now. Show me
Yeah.
something new.
That's what I'm saying too. I'm
I'm
like,
beginning
yeah.
jaded
You
with the Mars
guys
rover.
suck.
You know what? I'm all aboard. I'm all on it. I
Yeah.
get it, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, dude, come on, show me
The money.
Where's the meat?
Show
You
me the
know?
life.
Yeah.
Where's the beef?
Well, they're gonna do it. I
Show
mean,
me something new.
Yeah, now they're in an area where
I mean,
they
it all looks the same, and we've seen this before.
Yeah, that's why I'm always thinking there's like some conspiracy stuff going on, because I'm kind of like, well, all right, well, there's all kinds of stuff there. They never release any pictures.
that's not true. You're not going to the websites where they have like tons of pictures from all these rovers.
Or is it like Arizona
It is Arizona.
in the
It's
biodome?
right outside of Tucson.
Did you watch that documentary on the biodome
Biodome. Oh, in Arizona.
in Arizona?
I've been there. I've seen it.
Did you go inside?
I did.
Is that like an artificial generated
No.
environment where
Yes.
in the
Well,
desert?
they were trying
Yes.
to.
And they did
tr-
an experiment.
Well, they were supposed to be locked in there for 2 years, 3 years, or something like that.
Yeah, like a long time.
A long time, and they were supposed to be self-sustaining, and for either a moon base or a Mars base or something like that.
Something happened.
Yeah, it totally cratered, and they found out that that all their plants were dying, and they were passing them food secretly, and stuff like that. So it was a big controversy.
What?
Yeah, watch it's a
So-
documentary out there.
Yeah, I've been to that thing. I have been to that
yeah,
thing. Now
I
that
bet
you
it
mention it.
failed miserably.
Well, I bet it's
Because-
because it
Yeah,
poisoned.
I didn't hear that there was a conspiracy about sneaking food and stuff.
No, they were
but
caught.
cheating.
Yes.
Like they were going out and clubbing at
Yeah,
night.
they'd go out in discotheque, dancing to ABBA, Dancing
Yeah.
Queen.
Discotheque.
They're like, I
Into-
know this. Here's a bottle of Gentleman's Jack.
And you know who the spokesperson was for the biodome at the time? Or maybe the lawyer?
Barack Obama.
Very good. It's Michelle. No, it was Steve Bannon.
Really?
Yep.
Well, that's weird.
So he's now been implicated in multiple fraudulent things.
Yeah.
He probably.
They brought him in. I don't think he was involved from the beginning, but he
No
was at the
shit.
end. Yeah.
And you know what I'm talking about. Like recently he was charged with some sort of fraudulent stuff.
Oh, no, I don't know anything new.
So now that's the second time he's been associated with something that's fraudulent.
Yeah, look up biodome.
And he was whatchamacallit, pardoned by Trump.
Yeah, he was. Does that pardon him from all future or just what he's currently done?
Just the one deal.
Just one.
I didn't know Bannon was involved. So he sounds like a con artist, man.
Biosphere, that's what it's called, not biodome. Biodome was a stupid movie with
Yeah.
Pauly Shore, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Biosphere, and yeah, he was involved in that. And at the end, I don't know if he was a spokesperson or a lawyer or something like that.
Yeah, that
but,
doesn't look good.
yeah, but
He seems like a
What
Like
year
a
was
con
that? That
artist.
looks like a while ago.
that was in the 80s, I believe.
2016 was in that picture.
Well, no, this was not in 2016. It was back in the 80s, I believe.
yeah.
Yeah, 93.
$200 million into the project, but hired Bannon in '93 to stop the huge
Early
runaway
90s.
cost of the experiment gone awry.
So he was brought in to try to save it.
It was something to do with the border. Steve Bannon got caught up in some fraudulent deal to like privately finish the border wall.
Oh, I haven't heard any of that.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, he was trying. Okay, it was
Yeah.
mismanagement of money funds because
Right.
people were donating to build the wall, and Steve Bannon was tasked with managing the money that was donated.
Yeah.
And
Put in,
there-
hey, Mr. Producer, put
Did
in
it
Steve
all
Bannon
disappear?
border wall.
well, he was.
So was he skimming?
I don't know.
Yeah,
he was,
apparently there was some
he was out
controversy.
buying booze, and tacos with the money.
I don't know. Put in
Boobs.
border wall.
Boobs,
Yeah, well,
boobs,
that's
and
basically
tacos.
what it was, and you know what? In what he had claimed is like, yeah, well, you know what? We spent money on XYZ, but that money was supposed to go right back in. You
He's
know, it was-
facing a May 24th trial on criminal charges alleging that he and 3 other
Son of a bitch.
raised over $25 million for We Build the Wall campaign. And
and-
okay, yeah. So basically, he was skimming money apparently.
So that's fraud, I guess, right?
Yeah, well, he bought it says right there a $5 million yacht off the coast of
Ugh.
Connecticut.
A luxury yacht.
And,
Oh.
Yeah, he's
God,
pretty.
That's such bullshit.
He's
man.
always come across as kind of sneaky, kind of snaky.
Yeah,
kinda
so that's the second
slimy.
con job he's been associated with.
Right.
Probably
Yeah.
more than that.
So anyway, documentary out
What a
there
dick.
on the biosphere. I recommend it. It's very interesting.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. I'm just thinking, moreover, it's like kind of crazy. I mean, all the different public officials. I mean, he doesn't even hold an office. He's just in the private sector.
Right.
He
Well,
was.
he's a former White House chief strategist.
Yes, he was. He was like the first 6 months or
Well,
something
see,
like
that kind of stuff doesn't reflect well on Trump, man.
No.
I mean, if he's putting these kind of people around him and they're like getting, arrested for fraud and shit, that's not good.
Yeah.
Well, and you also got to imagine the. Well, I got nothing. Yeah, it doesn't look good for him.
It doesn't look good.
Well, there's two losers right there: Trudeau and Biden.
Yeah, apparently they're forming some new partnership, friendship partnership.
Whatever. I don't
Raise
know.
the taxes on cheese and milk,
Yeah.
or the tariffs, I should say.
Yes. One of the other topics I want to talk about, my wife will like this, is
Plumbing.
yes, plumbing. We did have an emergency. We had to pause. We had a water main break or something downstairs, and we had to take care of it.
That's an extreme assessment. Water main break.
It was
Yeah.
at least a good 10-inch pipe burst underneath the
Wow. Damn, you
Anyway.
guys use a lot of water.
Jeff Luge
That's how I.
couldn't say it.
It's on my bidet. Anyway.
10-inch pipe a day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway.
nice.
See, that's what I was talking about in the pool.
No, that's not the same thing. Actually,
Oh.
it is the same thing.
It's
Kind
the
of
same thing.
fracking your ass.
Fracking is
ass fracking
Yeah.
in a community pool.
Right.
That's a no-no.
No.
Well,
That's a
I've
no-no.
I've always put a shoehorn. Just
So if you're if you're in your pool and Sean's like, I'm gonna go frack.
oh, he's never gonna get me in my pool again.
I don't know if I want to. The last time I
Yeah,
came
you
out
got-
with,
Yeah,
like,
you had crust all over you.
it was like,
Shut up. My pool is fine.
well, it was your hot tub.
Oh, I know. My hot tub is fine.
It's
You know what
like
it
the-
was? I have reflected on that since
Yeah, I
listening to
know
that
what it was.
podcast. It was algicide.
What is that?
Algicide
Is
is
that some sort of hot tub
no,
venereal disease?
algicide is stuff you add to your pool to keep algae from forming on the walls of your pool.
What about
Oh.
And
spermaticide?
I don't put spermicide in my pool.
It was like
But thank you for asking.
it was like a Flemish lichen
Yes,
bacteria.
yes. When you
Very
agitate,
phlegmy.
okay, when you agitate
Well, how do you
algicide,
explain the infused pubes that were in the whatever the hell you're calling it?
human hair naturally
I got
attracts.
out. It was like someone
attracts
sneezed
to-
with a
Stop.
2-inch
Just
pube
stop.
on there. I'm not.
Just stop.
That's not mine.
Okay, we got to move on. We've already covered the algicide mess in my pool.
I'll just side my.
Sperm-
That's what it was. It's exactly what it was. And when it's agitated, it foams.
I think they should send it to Mars.
Oh yeah, we should we should infect Mars with bacteria,
From Paul's
and then it can form.
jacuzzi.
Okay, stop. All right, you said you had a topic. We don't have a topic at the moment.
Yes.
Can you please
this
go
is,
to
this,
one?
This is yes, completely different than pools.
Legos.
It's again another what?
Did you say Legos?
No, I didn't. No,
We've talked
we
about
talked about
Legos.
Legos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Julie just asked, where are you going?
she's not. You can join us up here if you'd like, Julie.
Yeah, why don't you get on the mic? All right.
Oh.
go.
Is the fast food drive-through?
Oh,
I read an article today.
Joe Pesci. Here we go.
I read an article. I don't like drive-throughs.
Okay.
I think it's for lazy people, for one thing. Get out of your car and go
Drive
to the
through
damn
and
restaurant.
Joe Pesci.
Yeah.
No.
So, anyway, I was reading an article, especially the Chick-fil-A drive-throughs that can get extremely long. They're very efficient,
Very efficient.
but they get extremely long. And there's a guy up in Ohio who owns a store in the same strip center.
Okay.
And the Chick-fil-A line gets so long, it goes entirely through the parking lot and blocks all the cars, and people can't come and
yeah.
park.
That'd be irritating.
So, and when people can't park, they can't get out
Get it,
because
yeah.
the line is so long.
Sure.
My thing is I'll just get out of my car and walk in. If I see, I don't like to drive through anyway because they always get the order wrong. Not necessarily Chick-fil-A, but that's happened to me enough times where I don't use a drive-through.
Right.
And I would rather park, get out, and I can get back in the car by the time people are through the drive-through. I'm just like, just get out of your damn car.
Yeah. No,
and
I'm
get in
with
there.
you. I've
Instead of
been
being lazy and sitting in your car on your phone.
if it's short, I'll definitely do the drive-through. But if it's long like that, yeah, I just park and walk in,
Yeah.
and then I feel like smart. I walk in while all those people
And
are.
you just
And
look
then
at them.
all
like,
those fools.
And
Yeah,
then
they're
you
fools
realize
are
it
rotting
takes
in their
just
cars.
as long.
I know it does, but it makes me
Yeah.
feel empowered.
It
I'm
does.
I'm a I disagree. I'm a proponent for going to the drive-through.
He's
and
lazy.
He is.
Remember you were talking about the
I'm
lazy
lazy.
people?
It's lazy.
That's
Lazy.
Sean.
Just get out.
I'm the poster child.
Get your steps in.
Get your steps in.
Yeah, I'd rather go to the drive-through, and I'm guilty of it. And I've gone all the way home, and I'm like, you son of a bitch, they forgot a hamburger.
Yeah.
And
They gave me no packets of ketchup.
it's
I'm going
devastating.
Back.
Well, I mean, when you're trying to get a bunch of orders for your family, and you got 6 members of your family, and
It's
you're
best
like,
to go inside and get it
you
right.
know. Well, you know what? My experience is, I would say less than 1%. 1 out of 100. Actually, that's not true. Maybe 1 out of 10 is messed up.
So that's 10%.
Yeah. I don't. At Chick-fil-A, that never happens. But
Yeah, Chick-fil-A is different. That they do get extremely long. I just don't like to drive through, and it drives my wife nuts.
because she's a drive-through fan.
Well, she wants instant results.
Well, that and
She's just like, I cannot wait. I want to eat now, or I cannot wait. I'm switching the tubes right now. I'm taking the hose off, and I'm going to swap them right now
and flood my house.
and flood my house.
right.
Right. I got you.
So anyway, that's kind of the line
What do they
that,
call it?
that I
Instant
go.
gratification.
I always get out and go in. I don't use the drive-through.
Well,
All right.
I don't know. I like the drive-through. It really depends. I mean, I go inside sometimes too, just because I'm lazy. I'll go inside. Actually,
Because you're lazy?
yeah,
That makes no sense.
Well, I mean, my point is
Because
it's
you
kinda
recognize you're lazy. It's like, I need to get out of the car.
Like, no,
Oh, I see.
no, that's not what I'm
And
saying.
you need 20
I'm
more
lazy
steps to get
and I
to
want to stand
50,000.
around and wait. I did that the other day. I was like, I don't feel like waiting in that drive-through. I'm just gonna be lazy and go inside. I could sit down and just
Doesn't make sense.
have a soda pop.
I guess it's all perspective, right?
Yeah.
If sitting in a line of cars seems like a lot of work, and parking and getting out seems more lazy.
Sitting down seems like a lot
I
of
mean,
work.
Sean can find,
Well,
he can twist it to where
Sometimes-
something seems like a lot of work.
Sometimes when you're at the drive-through little voice box and you're trying to get your order in, and
That's my issue. Hate to interrupt you, but when you're up there and you're like, yeah, I'd like a.
thank you. Come again. What? I haven't even ordered yet.
Welcome to Taco Bell.
The hell?
Was that Gollum?
That sounds
I
like
mean,
your
yeah,
last
and I'm like,
girlfriend.
yeah, I like one burrito. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, what did you say? I mean,
Yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah, it does.
That part. I mean, I'm a hearing impaired person, so that
Oh,
that
here
makes
we
it really
go.
hard.
It could.
That's why I have to go inside and they can sign with me.
Yeah.
What are you doing? That's not
I was
signing.
what the
signing.
fuck was that?
That
You were
was
doing
Sarah
freaking hand jive from Greece. I don't know what the hell he was doing.
The hand jive.
Number 3, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. He just totally hand jived over
Was
here.
that not the American Sign Language?
No, he doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Wow.
That's-
How insulting.
I wish we had that on video. That would be your new
Pe-
gift.
People ask me that, right? I wear hearing aids. I'm hearing impaired, and people say, "Oh, do you know how to sign?" I'm not deaf.
Right.
I'm not deaf.
So
I'm
does that
hearing
mean no?
impaired. That's a big no.
You really don't know how to do.
No, I don't. Why would I know how to sign? I'm not deaf. Oh, we're getting the music. I got to tell a story about that. I was at Six Flags, and there were some deaf people that were like stuck in a car, and they were trying to communicate with them. And the group I was with knew I wore hearing aids, and they were like, "Does anybody know sign language?" And they all like turned to me. All their faces
You
turned
should
to
have
me.
just gone like this.
No, and I went, I'm not deaf. I literally said that. I go, I'm not deaf. Why would I know sign language? And they were all like, oh, yeah. All of them. They're like a big company group. It was a
All looked
company
at
group.
you.
They all looked at me, and I was like, what the fuck? I'm not deaf.
You're racist.
I am. I'll finish that story on the next podcast. Remind me.
Interesting. So, do you think your work keeps you hanging on the payrolls because you're deaf?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think I meet the diversity quota. And
Maybe that's why she's mad at you.
Yeah.
no, that's not
All
why.
right. We're wrapping up today's episode.
Yeah, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for being with us. We had an emergency midway through. Hopefully it's
Yeah.
not too jarring, but thanks for joining us.
Yeah. I'll see you guys in March.
It's a long time.
Oh yeah, that's next month.
Yeah, sure
Is
is.
it 10:30 already?
It is.
Oh, you guys taking the 3-day challenge? Where you don't drink on the 29th, 30th, or 31st of February?
Yeah, we'll do that
Yeah.
all together.
I'm in.
Me too.
All right.
All right, peace out.
Bye, guys.
All right.
Oh, dudesicast.us.
.us.
Suck it.
Suck it.
Suck it.